Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video today I will show you how to crochet this basket with tassels. This tutorial is a companion to the reaching pattern that you can find for free at craftytoots.com. So make sure to go there to check it out so you will be able to follow the reaching instructions with this video. So you will need a crochet hook. I am using a size L or 8mm, but you can use any one that will let you get gauge. And of course you will find gauge and all this information at craftytoots.com. 2 strands of worsted weight yarn, and I am using 2 colors, but you're welcome to use just one color if you don't want the marbled effect. You need to make a slip knot, and for that I wrap my yarns around my hook. I twist it, then yarn over, and I pull through this loop and secure it. I know this is not very conventional, but this is the way that I like to make my slip stitches. You're welcome to do the way you know how to make them. We need to make 3 chain stitches, so yarn over and pull through loop, or have our first one. Again, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. We have 3 chain stitches. Now we have to make a slip stitch on the 3rd chain stitch from hook. Right here, it will be the first one we created. Have to insert our hook and make sure you go through both yarns, not just one. Yarn over, pull through once. In that same loop you're going to pull through the first loop. We have created a ring, and now we have to work on the inside of this ring. This will be our first round, and we need to make 6 single crochets in the inside of this ring. If you don't know how to make the single crochet, you can go to the crochet section on my YouTube channel and you will be able to find a tutorial. But let me show you here. You just insert your hook, then yarn over and pull through once. You have 2 loops there, yarn over again and pull through both loops. And just keep working around, always inside this ring, until you have the 6 single crochets. As you can see, I am working around the tail that was created when I made my slip stitch, and this is to hide it, and that way later I don't have to weave in the ends. Okay, so I have my 6 single crochet stitches, and now I'm going to move away the tail, and now I have to make a slip stitch to close this round, and we have to make this at the end of every single round in this basket. So now we'll have to move on the next round, and it will keep growing and growing. We have to do 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around. That way the next round is going to increase and we can create the base of this basket. So chain 1, and you're going to do 2 single crochets in the first stitch as I'm showing you, and then again in every single one until you get to the end. So insert your hook, pull through, yarn over and pull through both loops, and in the same stitch you insert it again and you make your 2nd single crochet. You can see it's growing in size, and now we have to close it with a slip stitch as I mentioned before. And to move to our next round will be round number 3. We do a chain 1. Again, we're going to do 2 single crochets on the first one to create our increase. So go in the same stitch and do a single crochet. But on the next one we're going to do just 1. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. So this is our repeat. 2 double crochets together and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch all the way around. And again, don't forget to close it with a slip stitch. And this is going to make our base grow and grow. So remember, we do 2 single crochets first, followed by 1 single crochet. On this round you will have 18 stitches, then slip stitch to close, chain 1, and again we're going to do 2 single crochets, and this time we're going to do 1 single crochet on the next 2 stitches, and that is going to be a repeat. So we have our chain 1, so on the first stitch, remember, is always 2 single crochets. By the way, we are on round number 4. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet, but this time on the next 2 stitches. And this is going to be a repeat. 2 single crochets in the same stitch, followed by 1 single crochet on the next 2 stitches. On this round you should have 24 stitches, and remember to close it with a slip stitch at the end. Okay, let's start round number 5. So chain 1, we're still increasing, so 2 single crochets on the first stitch, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet on the next 3 stitches. And again, this is going to be a repeat through the round, and on this round you should have a total of 30 stitches. By now I'm sure that you already realize that our repeat is always 2 single crochets on the first stitch, and then in each new row we add 1 single crochet to the repeat. So 2 single crochets on this, and then 1 single crochet on the next 3 stitches. I'm going to keep going this way until we have worked 12 rows. So 2 single crochets on the first one, and then 1 on the next 3 stitches we did before. As it keeps growing, on this one is going to be 4 single crochets, so 2 single crochets and 4 on the next one. And then on the following round, as it keeps growing, it will be 2 single crochets on the first, then 5 on the next one, and so on until you have worked 12 rows. And if you want to make sure that you're following the direction correctly, you just can go to craftytassels.com to get the written pattern, and that way you don't have to remember or count anything. Okay, so I have finished my 12th round, and I have a total of 72 stitches. So chain 1 to start round number 13, and we're not going to work like a regular stitch. We have to do single crochet through the back loop, like I'm showing you right here. Go to insert your hook, pull through, you have 2 loops, yarn over again and pull through both. So that part is just like any other regular single crochet. Just remember, don't go through here, go through the back loop. Let me show you one more time. Okay, just go through the back loop and do a regular single crochet. And you have to do this all the way around in every single stitch, and don't forget to close it with a slip stitch. This is going to turn our stitches. That way we're moving from the base, and now, as you can see here, it's not that noticeable yet, but you will create a division as we keep working. So divide the base and then have the height. So from now on we're going to do a chain 1 and then do a single crochet in every single stitch all the way around, then close it with a slip stitch, and you're going to repeat this all the way to round number 34. Here we are on round number 14, but keep doing it until you have a total of 34 rounds from the beginning one all the way to the end. So I have worked all the rounds. Here you can see, notice how this division worked. And now we need to create the handles. So we're going to do a chain 1 to start round number 35, and we are going to do a single crochet on the first 13 stitches. Just regular single crochets on the first 13 stitches. And you can go as far as you want. You can do more than 34 rounds if you want your basket to be a little deeper. This is not going to affect this part because we just need to have 72 stitches at the end. You can even work less row if you want a more narrow basket. Okay, so we have, now we're gonna do 10 chain stitches. And this is going to create a space for the handles. Okay, and now count 10 stitches because we have to skip 10 stitches, the same amount of chain stitches that we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And on the next one, we start working again. And this time we have to do 26 single crochet stitches. So let's go again because it moved and I don't know where I have to work. So again, let me count 10 stitches on the very next one. No, again, I almost work on the 10th stitch, not the 11th. Okay, this is my first. And keep working until you have a total of 26 single crochets worked up. And as I mentioned before, you can customize the height of your basket by working more rows or less rows. Just need to make sure that you have 12 rows of increases in your base. That way the math is going to work for the handles. If you want, you can also make less increases or more increases, but the handles are not going to work for that. So maybe you can just leave them out if that's something, if you want to make a basket that is smaller maker. So I have my 26 stitches and I'm going to make the second handle. Again, 10 stitches just as before, 10 chain stitches because we want our handles to be symmetrical and the same size. And again, we're going to skip a total of 10 stitches and work on the very next one. And then we're going to do single crochet on the rest of the stitches. Now you don't have to count, just go all the way to the end and close with the slip stitch when you get to the end. Here you can see we have the base for our handles. Okay, for our very next round we have to do a chain 1 and just do a single crochet all the way around, single crochet in every stitch. Again at the end, close it with a slip stitch. And if you are following the written pattern, we are now on round number 36. Okay, so now that we get to our chain stitch, I want to show you something. Some people like to go around the chain stitches, and you're certainly welcome to do that, but I prefer to go inside the chain stitches just because this will make it more sturdy, and that way the stitches won't move around. because if you go around the chain stitches, then they can move and it can create like a gather. And since this is for the handle, that means it's the part that's going to be probably touched the most in our basket. We want something that is going to stay in place. So we have 10 chain stitches, so we just have to do 10 single crochets, one in each one. So just keep going all the way until you finish this round, and don't forget to close it with a slip stitch. And do the same in the other handle. So here I finish my round. To start round number 37, we have to do a chain 1. And this time we're not going to move regularly, we're going to move backwards because for the edge we're going to do the crab stitch. So just do a chain stitch, and the crab stitch is just a backwards single crochet. So we're going to go backwards, insert or hug in our stitch, then yarn over and pull through. We have 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through both loops. This is going to create a decorative edge as well as very sturdy. So again, we go backwards, insert your hug on the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. You got 2 loops just like in a single crochet, yarn over and pull through both loops. And then you just have to keep repeating in every single stitch all the way around until you get to the very end. Once you're done, you have to fasten off, cut your yarn, and then weave in your ends. Here you can see the texture that this stitch creates. It's definitely for finishing because it's not that easy to work over this stitch. It can be done, but usually it's reserved for edges. Okay, so now we have to create our tassel. For that, I am using this boy tassel maker, and you just can move around this and you can clip it depending on what size you want to make, and grab your yarn. And the first one will go here at the top, and it has some notches so you can secure the yarn. Now you have to cut it. And you're welcome to use just a cardboard or something else to measure your yarn, but since I already have this, I like to use it. So now go around many times and create your tassel as full as you want. And I am using just one color of the yarn, but you're welcome to use 2 colors and keep the marble effect that we had in our basket. So again, just keep going around and around, and as I mentioned before, you can use something else. You can use cardboard, you can use your cell phone, you can use anything that has the measurement that you want. Now I'm going to cut my yarn, and I have the base of my tassel, and I need one more string that will go through that little opening, that little space that is just in between the top and the notches. And this is so I can tie it around and create the little top of my tassel. If you're using something else to measure your tassels, then you will have to remove it from it first and then do this step. So now I just have to take it off this tassel maker. I can make sure to tie it before I take it off, or take it and then tie it. It really won't move from there anymore, so whatever works best for you. And now I have to clip this very part of the bottom. And I have my first tassel. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, it's fuller, however you like it best. I'd made a total of 10 tassels, but you're welcome to make fewer or more than that. And I made it in 2 colors, and the same colors that I used for my basket, but as I mentioned before, I made it solid colors instead of the marble effect. Once you have all your tassels, you just have to place them in your basket. To help myself, I am using my crochet hook, and I am going to place it just below the handles. I'm going through the back to the front, grabbing the little tail of the tassel, and I'm pulling one side, then I'm going right next to the other stitch and pulling the other side. That way there is a little space in between, and when you tie it, that is going to keep it in there. Because I have 2 tassels and 2 colors, I am going to alternate it, and I'm just going to go all the way around. And here you have the finished basket. You're welcome to weave in all those ends or leave them in, however you prefer. There you go. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe.